Okay, we're going to start with looking at Chapter 1, Section 1, which focuses on the importance of business management and the different levels of management, and then the 5 basic functions of management. Okay, so here's your textbook definition of what management is. The process of deciding how best to use a business's resources to produce a good or provide services. Okay, so you are in charge of employees, equipment, money, whatever those resources are. It's your job as a manager to decide the best way to use those to achieve your goal, whatever your company's goals is, whatever you're making or whatever service you're providing. Okay, so if you look at the example of a car dealer or car manufacturer, you have managers that are just in charge of the assembly line. Okay, they're scheduling who works when and who's on what machine. You have an engineering manager that is into developing new products, innovative things, and working with engineers. And then you have a general manager, or people that are managing, not a specific part of the factory, but an overall manager or a general manager, much like you would at a restaurant, right? You have a bar manager, you have a floor manager, you have a kitchen manager, and then you also have a general manager who's kind of in charge of everything. Okay, so lots of different roles that you can play. Okay, here we go with the levels of management. And the first one at the top of the chain is the senior management. Okay, so this is the head person in charge, and they are responsible for setting the big goals and the major objectives of the business, or the so-called big picture. Okay, they're not really involved in the day-to-day operations or the day-to-day problems that a business would face. So they're setting the overall direction, the overall tone, setting the main goals that the business would follow. Okay, typically the titles that come along with that are CEO, or Chief Executive Officer, COO, Chief Operating Officer, maybe a CFO, Chief Financial Officer, maybe a Senior Vice President. Okay, so in terms of a business, to give you an example, it could be the CEO of Ford Motor Company saying that we want to have a fully functional electric vehicle that can go 200 miles in a single charge and have it cost a consumer less than $30,000, and we want that done by 2017. Okay, they're not going to get involved in the day-to-day how to do that, but they're going to set the goal and try to oversee that entire objective. Okay, then you get into middle management. Okay, then what they're going to do is take the big picture and break it down a little bit. So they're going to take big goals like having the electric vehicle by 2017 and then break it down into specific areas and kind of make smaller goals that can meet that. Okay, and then kind of who should be in charge of what and what exactly needs to get done. Okay, which employees in each area what they must do to meet the goals. So kind of taking the big picture and breaking it down into functional parts to get a little more organized. And typically there you have department heads or a district sales manager or an engineering manager, okay, specific to a function of that business. Okay, and then last you have what we might call the supervisory manager. Okay, they are again overseeing the day-to-day operations of a business. Okay, so again that might be your assembly line manager, your finance manager. Okay, overseeing the people who are actually doing work. Okay, so you're overseeing the actual employees who are doing whatever it is that they have to do on a day-to-day basis. Maybe these are the supervisory managers are making the schedules. You got to ask them for a day off. If you need a vacation day, you're going to them. Okay, so they're again overseeing employees. So typically you have store managers, a foreman or four-person crew leader, something like that get involved in the day-to-day running of the business. Okay, here you have the pyramid to kind of show you kind of what takes place. Typically a business will have, you can look in blue, many supervisory managers, and then a smaller amount of middle managers, and then a very select few people that are in top management positions. So those positions are difficult to come by. Okay, there are 3 ways that you can evaluate what a manager actually does, and we're going to just kind of preview these, and there'll be separate videos for those. The first are the tasks that you're going to actually perform, which are planning, organizing, staffing, leading, and controlling. So that's actually what you're doing on a daily basis. The different roles you have to play on any given day, whether that's an interpersonal role, dealing with information, making decisions. And then lastly, we're going to look at some of the skills you have to have in order to be successful in a management position, because management's not for everybody. So that'll be the end of this video, and the next video will focus, the next set of videos will focus on these three ways to analyze what it is that a manager does.